Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us here in the charts. Tune into the Crypto Flight Edition. Fellow passengers stopping in. We have some brief, interesting analysis or data, rather, for the BTC price. I'm going to go over something that's just kind of piggyback on what we went over on the previous BTC video. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Lord subscribers, welcome back. If you're new here, join us here on this interesting journey. So let's go ahead and dive right into the charts here, shall we? All right, so today's March the 22nd, 2021, and the current price of BTC is going to be $57,674.54. It's up approximately 0.5% for the day. And just a quick briefing of what we're going to go over is we're looking at a rising wedge, and I just want to kind of go over something on the daily. So let me just pull it up here so everyone's on the same page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the same rising wedge that we've been following. And I just want to point out something for you all, just very briefly, short video. Okay, let me see if I can just kind of adjust this line. All right, so yeah, something like that. So the reason that I'm adjusting the line is because I don't want to make it feel like I'm just kind of justifying this. So something like that, guys. That's where the line was. All right, so these are the daily candles. And for those of you who follow me closely, I think you kind of know the way that I look at support lines. I kind of find patterns, support, resistance, and patterns. That's all I look at. That's literally it, okay? And what I want to point out for you all is the pattern that I'm potentially seeing here is every time BTC loses this support line down here, it has a certain amount of time to get back above the support line, okay? So right here, this daily candle, you see how it like broke below on February the 28th, how it broke below this red candle right here. And what happens is when the daily candle closed below this line, it actually popped right back above that support line and it closed above it. And you see how it kind of uses that support. It's really simple. Just find support and resistance. So that was just basically this one daily candle when it closed below that line, okay? So what I do is I kind of look over here and I say, okay, I'm noticing two daily candles. See this daily candle here, March the 5th, 2021, and then you have another one here, March the 6th, 2021. Had two daily candles to close below that line, and then it kind of popped its head right back up in that's above that support line. So I'm bringing all of this up to your attention because the pattern that I'm noticing here is the first time it closed one day below this potential support line. Assuming that I have my lines correct, but so far what I'm looking at, I see one daily candle to close below that line, and then I'm looking over here. Whoops, I'm gonna grab that circle there. Sorry guys, so unprofessional. All right, so we grab that and we put it over here. So that's gonna be two daily candles to close below that support line. And now what could potentially be taking place now, according to the small pattern that I think I found, is this would be the official first day to close below the line, in line with what we've already kind of shown you on this ascending support line here. And the reason that, and I'm going to get to it here in a second. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over, but I'm going over this because you have one day to close below. Here you have 2 days. So up here where we are present day, as long as the candle's bodies can have a close proximity, let's just say it kind of comes up and it touches this line at about $58,233. Like if it touches that line and then it closes like a green candle or something, and then on the very next candle it kind of touches the line again, what I'm looking for is a close proximity and to continue the overall trajectory. Like it closes below the line and it touches it and it kind of continues to go up, and it eventually gets back above this line within a minimum of 3 days, because again, the pattern is the first time it was 1 day, and then the second time it was 2 days. So maybe it could potentially take 3 days the next time. This is how it's weird. I know it's weird, but I always look for a pattern. It's always doing something that could be measured, and it could potentially have a continuation in the future, if that makes sense, right? So that's what I'm going to leave you guys out with. If the buyers have control of this market, which is clearly in an uptrend, but that doesn't mean that the buyers still have control within this range, because there's a very important level that we left you wonderful folks out with, and it's right there at about $57,000, about $600. I think the price is just kind of hovering near that level. It doesn't need to hover near that level. I need it to take off, like break through these levels overhead and stop like tinkering around this line, because what's going to happen is the sellers are going to realize, like, they're going to say, wait a minute, the buyers don't really have control here, and they're going to seize that opportunity to push the price down. And if you see it down at about $53,000, then you know what's going on. That means the sellers sense that there is a weakness in this trajectory, and they're going to seize that opportunity to push the price down. That's all that happens in these markets. The buyers make their moves in the market, and then the buyers, once they're making their moves in the markets, and the sellers realize that they don't have the necessary momentum to keep the trajectory going to the upside. If it's going up, they seize that opportunity. They push the price down. Really simple. Okay, for me to at least see when the price activity is taking place, and right now this daily candle closed below that level. This is not an ideal setup. So I definitely wanted to come in on a green day to at least say that there could be some momentum to the downside, and it will likely be within a very large range that we've discussed many times. Let's see, $48,000 right here, 48,000 right there, all the way up to $57,000. I'm telling you, if BTC has trouble up here at this $57,000 level, then that means the sellers are going to try to push the price all the way down to. They're going to make an attempt. That doesn't mean that they're going to successfully do it, but they're going to try to push the price down to $48,000. Okay, will it find support there? Even if it's going to get that low, I'm not sure. But same level. I feel like I've just pretty much came back to say the same thing. It's just hanging around this level for too long. It's broken below the support level. Okay, so this, in terms of where I place my line on this rising wedge bearish pattern, it closed below that 57,000. That's not an ideal setup, guys. This is not ideal, because what's going to happen is now it's fighting with two resistance lines. The $57,600 level right here, this red line, and it has to get back above this ascending support line for the this rising wedge. So let me just commit to a direction here. I'm going to say that the price is going to go down to $53,000. I'm just going to close it out and say that. I'm going to say that the sellers are going to make an attempt here. They're going to make an attempt to push the price down to like $53,000. Now, whether that's going to result in a wick or a nasty official move to the downside, that I'm not sure about. But I can safely leave you wonderful folks out with saying that I think the sellers are going to take this opportunity to at least make a move to the downside, because it's hanging around this 57,000 too long. Too long. If it does not explode, like seriously, I've said this on the last video, it has to explode up. If it's going to like kind of, say, hey, back off this price, sellers. It has to explode up, bust through 60,000 like it was not even there. Okay, go all the way to 67,000, just completely obliterate those levels. But it has, this is the last 24 hours. I can't give BTC any more time. This is it. Do it within this 24-hour candle. It has 19 hours to close, or else it has to surrender to the sellers here in the short term. So what are you going to do, BTC? You're going to crank this price up or what? It's so weird. I'm talking to BTC. They're going to answer me back. All right, let's cut it out here, guys. Leave an appropriate thumb just below the video there if you enjoyed the content. If this actually comes to fruition, if BTC moves to the downside like $53,000, just leave something in the comment section. Say, hey, man, you got it right. Or, yeah, dude, you got it wrong. You don't know what you're doing. And leave that in the comment section as well, okay? I appreciate every single one of you. It is Napoleon Macro. We're going to cut it out here. Also, before you go, if you're new, we also covered, I'm not sure if you're into like traditional stocks, but we go over that throughout the week. We'd love for you to join us here on this interesting journey so we can send you that information. So that's it, guys. Take care of yourselves, protect your portfolio, execute your strategies. We're going to talk soon. Bye for now.